Through this video segment, I want to introduce to you the concept of predictor corrector method for solving initial value problem. This predictor corrector method that we are going to discuss is due to Huynh. So this is Huygh's predictor corrector method. The basic idea is very simple. What we do is we apply the Euler method that we learned earlier to the initial value problem, and whatever result you get from the Euler method, you take that as the temporary answer and not as the final answer. So the prediction is done using Euler method. And then what you do is you correct that prediction using a particular way of doing it to get a better answer to the problem. And that correction is due to Huynh. Let's look into the specifics now. This is the initial value problem, the ODE, and this is the initial condition. The value of y at t is equal to 0 is C1. And we know the Euler method is this. I'm looking at the Euler method based on forward difference approximation. So we get a explicit expression for it. So yi plus 1 is equal to yi plus fyi times h. As you can readily see, y0 is known. Since the functional form f is known, we can compute f at y0. H is chosen by us to be a certain value. Therefore, everything on the right hand side is known. Therefore, I can find out y1. Once I find out y1, I can use the same idea to find y2, y3, etc. So that is basically the Euler method. Now I'm going to take the result of the Euler method as a temporary answer. So I'm just going to say yi plus 1, 0. The 0 superscript implies that this is the temporary holding variable or the temporary answer to the problem. I'm not saying in this particular case yi plus 1 is equal to yi plus f yi times h. I'm not saying this because if I say that, it means I am adopting the Euler scheme. By putting a 0 here, I'm just saying the results of the Euler scheme, I'm going to assign it to this temporary variable yi plus 1, 0. And I'm going to do something to improve my answer based on yi plus 1, 0. And the interpretation of f of yi is it is the slope at the beginning of the interval. See, right now we are at ti and the value of y is yi. So this is the beginning of the interval and we are trying to find out the value of y at the end of the interval. That means at ti plus 1, where the value is expected to be yi plus 1. So we are trying to find this out. F of yi is the slope at the beginning of the interval. Why? Because dy by dt is equal to f of y. Dy by dt is nothing but the slope of the function with respect to t, because the first derivative is the slope. Therefore, if you evaluate f at yi, we are finding out the slope at t is equal to ti. So this interpretation that f of yi is the slope at the beginning of the interval makes sense. Now what we are going to do is we are going to take this temporary answer that came from the Euler scheme and estimate the slope at the end of the interval. So we are saying dy by dt, my estimate dy by dt at t is equal to ti plus 1 is nothing but the function evaluated at the value that is provided by the Euler scheme. So that is the slope at the end of the interval. Now what we do is we estimate the average of the slope. From the start of the interval and the end of the interval, we have two estimates. So instead of just using the slope at the beginning of the interval, which the Euler scheme does, what we are doing in the Huygh's corrector step is we are saying I'm going to take that the true slope of the function over this interval ti to ti plus 1 is the average of the slope that I know at ti and the slope I have estimated at ti plus 1 using the Euler formula. Therefore, the average of these two slopes is the average estimate of the slope. So in the Huygh's predictor corrector scheme, I am not just happy estimating the slope at the beginning of the interval and using it to compute yi plus 1. I am going to have an estimate of the slope at the beginning of the interval and at the end of the interval, and I'm going to work with the average slope. So the Hume's corrector step modifies the Euler expression as follows. Yi plus 1 is equal to yi plus something times h. So this part is the same as the Euler scheme. This part is the same as the Euler scheme. This h is the same as the Euler scheme. Only thing what we do here is change that from f of yi to the average slope y bar dash. And y bar dash, as we saw in the previous slide, is going to be f of yi plus f estimated at the value that is provided by the Euler's formula divided by 2. So you replace f of yi by the average estimate of the slope. That is the Hume's method. So the predictor step is the Euler scheme. In Hume's method, the corrector step is replacing the slope at the beginning of the interval by an estimate of the average slope in the interval. So what we have just outlined here is a one-step predictor corrector approach. It is one step because we are just using the information about yi to determine the value of yi plus 1. And it is a hybrid because the predictor equation is explicit, because on the right hand side you only see yi. On the left hand side you see yi plus 1. So the things on the right hand side are known, therefore it is very easy to calculate yi plus 1 0. So that is explicit. When you look at the corrector equation, it is implicit because you have yi plus 1 appearing on the right hand side. Now, as written here, the Hume's method, where we are just looking at a single correction, this corrector equation is also like explicit because yi plus 1 0 comes from the predictor step. I can put it here. Yi is already known, f of yi is already known, h is known. So the corrector step also seems to be explicit. What you're thinking is true. If we just leave it like this, then both the predictor and the corrector are explicit. No need for doing any iterations. So both are explicit as written here. But why does it say here that the corrector is implicit? The reason is because the corrector equation can be written like this. It is exactly the corrector equation that we wrote earlier, except we have introduced superscript k plus 1 here, and we have introduced superscript k here. So what we are going to do is, once we get yi plus 1 0 using the predictor equation, we are going to say yi plus 1 k plus 1 is equal to yi plus f of yi plus f of yi plus 1 k by 2 h, right? This is exactly what is written here. Once you get yi plus 1 0, I'm going to put it on the right hand side and say yi plus 1 1. That means I'm taking k is equal to 0 is going to be equal to yi plus f of yi plus f of yi plus 1 0 by 2 times h. So yi plus 1 0 I'm going to put here so I can get this value. I know yi, so I can compute f of yi. I know h. Therefore, I can compute the right hand side. And I can get yi plus 1, 1. Now, this yi plus 1, 1 may not be the same as yi plus 1, 0. So, if the gap between yi plus 1, 1 and yi plus 1, 0 is big, that means bigger than 10 to the power of minus 8 or 10 to the power of minus 4 or 10 to the power of minus 12, then what I will do is I will now take this yi plus 1 1 and put it back to the right hand side. So I will compute yi plus 1 2 is equal to yi plus f of yi plus f of yi plus 1 1 by 2 multiplied by h. So the result of yi plus 1 1, if it is significantly different from yi plus 1 0, I will take it and put it here to evaluate the average slope again. And this evaluation will lead to a value yi plus 1 2. I will now check if yi plus 1 2 is very close to yi plus 1 1 or is it different. So that convergence tolerance is up to us. If it is different, now I will put yi plus 1 2 in this place and then compute yi plus 1 3. And I can go on till it converges. The converged value will be my answer for yi plus 1. So this is a crude approximation that I get from the predictor equation, which is the Euler scheme. And then I take this general formula and I iterate as many times as I want to reach the convergence tolerance that I am comfortable with. So this is going to be an implicit scheme because we are iterating. And the reason we are iterating is because yi plus 1 appears on both sides of the equation. So this leads to this claim that the corrector step is implicit. So this one is a fair and accurate statement. If you just do one correction like this, right, without iterating, it looks explicit, and in fact it is explicit if you leave it there, but then the accuracy can be poor. By iterating it a few times using this implicit scheme, we are very likely to improve the accuracy of the calculation. So this concludes Hume's predictor corrector method, and the key idea for you to take is you can get a rough prediction from a very simple scheme and then use a slightly more sophisticated scheme to improve the answer from the predictor, and then you can correct it. So this happens in many problem solving situations where you can do a coarse calculation, a rough back of the envelope calculation to get a decent answer to the problem, and then you can use some sophisticated methods to improve the answer. This is done in modern day machine learning, artificial intelligence, etc., where we use a very simple model, what is called a surrogate model, to get a rough value for the answer. And then you take those rough values and then you can work on high fidelity, high computational load models to get a accurate answer to the problem. So you are trying to minimize the overall cost of calculation by coming up with an approximate answer using a very simple technique first. And then with minimal effort, you can apply it to a more sophisticated model. Thank you for your time.